did a lot of reading in terms of reading a bunch of different things. However, the page count was very small on each of these books here. Just very slow week for me. It was hot all week here, and I don't function when it's hot. I just literally lay in bed and stare at the TV and wait for the heat to pass. So the first thing, the Odyssey, I only read the book 1, which is surprisingly, I forgot a lot of it. I kind of remember little bits and pieces here, especially the beginning, because I think I've read like the first line quite a few times in throughout my college years, and I like it. I like this translation. I think it's fun. I think it's really approachable, easy to digest. I think you guys could see that first few lines right there. I don't know. Honestly, I think I would recommend maybe a more I don't know. Maybe I would recommend this to someone who hasn't read the Odyssey before. I wonder if there's a I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure there's a prose version of the Odyssey out there, which I would recommend to everyone first, just so you could kind of get a grasp of the actual story, and then dive into a translation like this that's a little bit more again digestible and stuff like that, more modern language and all of that. So I was originally going to get tickets maybe in the first week of August, so I would have more time to read this, but July 30th is when I got tickets for myself and my parents, and it's still pretty far for maybe like a week and a half. Yeah, right? Yeah, about 2 weeks or so, a little less than 2 weeks. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this entire poem by then, but I'm going to try. I've been reading a lot more at work, and that's kind of where I've been reading these little bits and pieces throughout this week, is, at work. I'm trying to get back into the groove of reading during my breaks instead of doom scrolling and just wasting time doing nothing. And then I've been trying to do more of the same here at home instead of, doom scrolling right when I get home to, I guess, relax in a way. I want to do less of that and more reading, which I tell myself, I think, every week, or at the very least every year for New Year's. In terms of these books, I think I'm going to go with The Convenience Store by the Sea. I think that one's a little bit more, or the most interesting to me at first read. It has that kind of surreal aspect to it that I've always really enjoyed in grounded stories. It's like I don't know. There's just something about surrealism in books or in stories. I think surrealism and cosmic horror might be my favorite because they're just so, I guess, immersive. I don't know if that's the right word, but it just kind of brings out a lot of creativity in myself. I think that's why I like it the most. This one is pretty good. I think it starts off pretty strongly. The first few pages that I did read. I don't know if the character's name is Tatami, as the titles suggest, the Tatami Galaxy. And also, a thing I noticed when reading all of these books is that I don't know if it was coincidence that I chose all 4 of these books with first person point of view, but I was very surprised. I literally just I was trying to think of things to talk about in this video, and I kind of just thought about it randomly because I didn't really notice it, which is, I don't know, very, very welcoming to me, because I really do enjoy first person stories. It's the closest that in fiction to poetry. Oh, there's another what is it called? Like Dracula, Upholstery, where the story is told in letters. Oh my god, this is gonna bug me. Hold on, let me see what it's called. Upholstery letter. Epistolary. Okay. The novel has a plot. Can you get out of here? Continue. No. Oh my god, I hate pop-ups. It forces me to read quickly and I can't. a plot that is either partially or entirely comprised of correspondence, usually in the form of letters. Okay, technically none of these are that, but in terms of first person, that's how it kind of feels, because we're the receiver of these experiences that these characters are going through right now. So this first one, Tatami Galaxy, I think at the end of it all, I think I'll like this one the most, but it did start off strong, like I said, in terms of the character kind of really painting himself as and I believe it's a himself. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not familiar with the Japanese names and, what gender they're usually assigned to, like John and Mary over here in the Western world of plainness. He kind of brushes himself off, or paints himself as a like a harsh loner. He's already kind of like talking bad about his friend. I'm pretty sure it's his only friend. Talking about himself as like a person that is like he says dark Cupid. He causes a lot of people to fall out of love of each other, stuff like that. So I don't know if it's like very self-deprecating kind of character. Oh my god, kind of tweaked my back a little bit right there. Oh my god. Oh. Am I sitting? I'm sitting at an angle. I don't think that's good for my old body. So I think maybe this will probably be the one to read last, just because it feels like it's a little bit more towards the I don't want to say negative in terms of like, bad, but it's obviously a character that kind of, is very harsh on himself. Whether or not, I don't know if that's for a good reason or not, will probably be something to find out later in the book, but for now I think it's a fine start. It's just, I think Convenience Store by the Sea was a stronger start, and the other books were very, they're okay. Jesus, this color on this thing is terrible, so bright. Maybe I'll do that. So like I said, this one is very surreal. Our main character, whose name I haven't got to yet, I think it's probably in the next, I only read the prologue, so it's probably in the first chapter or so. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, let me see very quick. So prologue. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait, is this not? You know what? I think the prologue might have just been the only section that was in first person. The rest here seems third. Yeah, that's interesting. So the prologue is in first. I wonder if there's a purpose for that. Let me see. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it seems like I just quickly flipped through the middle portions here, but at first glance it seems like the prologue and epilogue are in first person of the main character, and the rest is in third person. That'll be interesting. That adds a nice little little burst of interest there. I think her name is Mitsuri. I believe so. I'm assuming it is. But in this prologue, she's taking a little trip. She stops at a convenience store like one does on a road trip, and when she goes in there, it's like a chaos scene. She's kind of like trying to figure out what the heck is going on. There's a bunch of women surrounding this very attractive man who's clearly dressed as a convenience store worker, and she's just feel like she said is it alien abduction or something like that. She's like super confused, and I kind of like that about this. You're kind of thrust into it from her perspective right away, and it kind of adds that air of mystery right away. So I think that's what I'm most excited about. I was like, I want to know what happens after this first little bit in the prologue. Like, why? Like, we have as much questions as the main character here, and we're as confused as the main character. And I think that's nice, being, feeling the same thing as the main character. Okay, so this app I'm filming with, it's called Old Roll. I guess it has a 10-minute limit per video, so it kind of cut me off there. But I was just, just to summarize this, is just I kind of like how the first person kind of really brings us and the reader and the character a lot closer together versus the usual third person within fiction. So that's all I had to say about that before it cut me off. So Earthlings is the book I read the most. Same author as Convenience Store Woman, which I really enjoyed. This one is a bit odd, and I don't want to criticize it just yet, and not in terms of the writing. I think the writing is great. It's very clean and direct. And my biggest concern is I'm not entirely sure I'm understanding the relationships here. If it's a cultural difference that that's kind of like being the barrier here of me understanding. But what we have is the, oh my god, what's it? I'm forgetting their names. Natsuki and Yu. They're cousins. And I think this book kind of, goes through all the summers that they reunite at this little family reunion place in the mountains. What I'm not understanding is, by cousins, do they mean blood cousins? There's also another odd thing I'm not entirely sure I understand. Yu, the male cousin, Natsuki is the female cousin. Yu calls his mother by her first name, and he, if I remember correctly, he said, or Natsuki said that that's his real mother, but I forgot. I honestly forgot. I don't know what the reason was why Yu calls his mother by her first name. But it's just everything's very odd here. And I don't think this is surreal at all. I don't think it has an undertone of horror or thriller or anything. I think it's just a very grounded novel about people that are outside the status quo, or who feel and think outside the status quo. And another thing that threw me off was, obviously Natsuki and Yu are very close. They have this really great bond. They get really excited when they see each other, because they don't see each other throughout the year. And this is their only time they kind of like reunite. And I believe it starts off with okay, maybe not so much, but it's pretty early on in the first, I don't know, maybe like 10 pages or so. Natsuki says Yu is her boyfriend, and Yu is going to be like, he doesn't know yet, but he's going to be her first. Kind of like things, kind of language like that just makes me very confused. I'm not entirely sure if I'm misunderstanding something, or if I just need to keep reading. It could be just some sort of maybe childhood admiration that Natsuki is mistaking for a crush or something on her own cousin. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm invested in it. I've read it the most because I am wanting to understand it the most. Thought I heard something. Sorry. So yeah, I think I'm just coming at it from a different lens here, and I don't think there's a translation error or anything. I think it's just me not quite understanding the cultural aspect here. And kind of like what it means. I'm interested to see, I'm obviously going to finish this book because I'm really interested to see how each summer progresses between these two characters, between these two cousins, and if there's going to be a rift somewhere along the teenage years when puberty comes along and they kind of realize, okay, maybe it wasn't a crush. It was just maybe they're both, like I said, kind of like outside the status quo, and they feel that bond, that really powerful bond, because they know that they could maybe rely on each other, and they know that they both see the world through the same lens and understanding. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just this very strong, because like when you're young and you find someone who likes the same things as you, who kind of like sees the world in the same way as you have this really powerful bond that you can't really truly understand or articulate, because you're just so young. You don't know, you don't have the words for it, but you just know you have like that strong feeling for the other person. So maybe that's it here. In their early years, I believe I'm on the second summer. I believe they're 9, 10, 11, somewhere between there. So still fairly young. So yeah, I think this will probably be the second book I'm going to finish, just because I'm most interested in seeing what happens throughout the entire story, especially as they go into adulthood and kind of, you know, circle back to childhood in these summers. But also, what I appreciate about this book is it does dive into more explicitly culture, especially celebrations of death and all of that, or respecting those who have passed away and stuff like that. So it's really nice, kind of just getting a peek behind the curtains in a maybe like a culture and world, or part of the world that I'll probably never see or understand completely. I don't know. It's pretty expensive these days. I don't know if I'll ever be able to save up enough money for a trip to Japan, or anywhere, maybe in Asia. I don't know. Maybe I'll start saving $50 a paycheck. I don't know. Whatever. Strange Weather in Tokyo. This one I just started reading yesterday. A few pages in. Almost a chapter in. I actually really enjoy this one. I don't know if I want to put it up there. I think it's a definite solid third. It might be the second. It depends on how my mood is on whether or not I want to finish this one first or not. This one, very similar to Tatami Galaxy, it kind of thrusts you right in. So our main character, whose name I forgot again. Oh my god, I literally forget all of these characters' names. Tsukiko, and her high school teacher, which is just referred to as Sensei right now. No, I think his name is mentioned early on. Yeah, Mr. Matsumoto. So what's great about this one is, like, right in the beginning, we're already kind of like the good old boy Tsukiko. Tsukiko kind of like explains the scene to us. You know, she saw her sensei in a bar. He remembered her first. Actually, on that note, it was just a teeny tiny bit creepy in this first little bit of dialogue right here. Again, I'm only a few pages in, and he said, it's unusual to see a woman alone in a place like this. Yes. Didn't you wear your hair in braids during high school? Yes, I recognized you as soon as I saw you here. Did you recently turn 38 this year? I'm still only 37. And then he said, I looked you up in the register in the yearbook just to be sure. You know, like, I understand, like, you were kind of like, you're the teacher, you remember your student, but I don't know if I would go so far as to check out the old yearbooks to make sure what age you were, or, you know, see your school picture where you had braids. So yeah, I don't know, that was very, a little off-putting, but the character didn't mind it. There's no, or at least so far, she hasn't really concerned herself with that. But however, he's, I believe, close to 70 and she's 37. So again, it's like one of those relationships that you want to criticize because of the age gap, but then, like, you know, you got a grown woman here, 37 years old. Why are we butting into her business? And what is it of society's business that a 37-year-old, or even like a 30-year-old, 35, 40-year-old woman is dating a man in his 70s, 80s, 90s? Like, what, you know, what business is it of ours? I think that, in my perspective, that age gap is completely fine. Who cares? I'm not entirely sure the cultural aspects of a relationship between a student and their former teacher. That may be a thing to question. In that aspect, yes, I think it's a little bit unprofessional or even creepy, especially if you kind of say things like, oh, I checked you up in the yearbook just to see what age you were. And again, talking about the image of the younger person in the year. I don't know what I'm saying. It's 5-6 pages into this book. I don't know where it's going, but I think it'll be one that can spark a bigger discussion in terms of just privacy or relationship between a former student and a former teacher. Now it would be a lot different if Tsukiko was I don't even know, like, let's say 22 to 25, and he was Mr. Matsumoto was in his 50s or 60s. Then I think it'll be okay to raise a few eyebrows, but again, you're still dealing with 2 adults here, and it's up to them. But I don't know, this book was kind of like the back blurb and all of it, the quotes and all of it were kind of hinted at maybe this kind of relationship isn't that accepted over there in Japan. I'm not entirely sure, so I think that'll be interesting to understand what perspectives are come upon this kind of relationship, and if it if it's understandable or if it's questionable from my perspective. I don't know. So yeah, that's all I got. That's my rant for these books that I've read this week. I'm hoping to finish Convenience Store by the Sea at the very least this weekend. I always say that, and then I never do. But yeah, that's my goal. At the very least, to finish it by next Friday when I do a follow-up video on the things I've read. Or maybe I'll do little bit by little bit, and maybe just do a little bit more on this book because I enjoy it so much so far. Yeah, maybe I'll do that just so I have multiple things to talk about and the different stories and all the different thoughts and yeah, general questions and concerns that I have. But yeah, I think that's it for this week. I kind of just wanted to be very simple just because I did not do anything, like I said, because of the heat. It rendered me incapacitated in a way. So yeah, I did play a lot of video games just because I just got very bored of watching TV. But also I think I might restart Brooklyn Nine-Nine again. I've been seeing clips pop up on my YouTube, and I think it's wanting me to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm not entirely sure.